Have you ever felt like a stranger to yourself? Like you've lost touch with who you really are? You go through the motions of life, numb, detached, like something's missing, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Maybe you feel stuck, like you're trapped in the same cycle that keeps dragging you down, and you're just not sure how to get out. You're not alone. So many of us have been there, feeling lost, disconnected, even overwhelmed by the weight of it all. But here's the good news. That inner fire, that potential inside you hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there, waiting for you to reignite it. Now, it might feel like it's flickering, barely a spark, but don't be fooled. That fire doesn't die. It just needs a spark to get it going again. And you have the power to be that spark. Here's the reality we don't always want to face. We're often too comfortable, too afraid of what lies on the other side of hardship. We've been conditioned to seek comfort at all costs. But what if I told you that comfort is the very thing holding you back? When we constantly avoid challenges, we stay weak. We let fear control us. We make excuses, we delay, we wait for the right moment that never comes. And in doing so, we lose the chance to grow. But here's the thing about the Stoic mindset. It teaches us that pain, rejection, and loss are not our enemies. These are the raw materials we need to forge our greatest strengths. It's in the struggle, in the discomfort, where we find the power to rise. Think about some of the greatest figures in history, people who were knocked down over and over again. Did they give up? Did they let hardship defeat them? No. They used it. They turned pain into power. They transformed rejection into resilience and loss into wisdom. And so can you. Every time you feel defeated, every time you experience rejection or failure, you have a choice. You can either stay down, or you can use that moment to fuel your rise. This is the lesson the Stoics teach us. Suffering doesn't define us. It's what we do with that suffering that shapes us. We are not our failures, nor are we the wounds from our past. We are the sum of the decisions we make right now. You see, your story isn't over. In fact, the best part of your story is just beginning. But to step into that new chapter, you have to leave the past behind. You have to stop clinging to past mistakes, to the people who doubted you, to the things that went wrong. The past is a ghost. It's over. What matters now is what you do next. So I ask you, what are you going to do with this moment? Are you going to keep dwelling on the past, letting it define you? Or are you going to rise right now, in this very moment, and make a choice to leave behind everything that's holding you back? Because the truth is, you have the power to reignite your fire. You have the strength to turn your pain into power. And you have the wisdom to take everything life has thrown at you and use it to build something stronger, something better. The world is waiting for you to show up. But first, you have to show up for yourself. Don't let the fear, the discomfort, or the doubts hold you back. This is your time. This is your moment. Ignite that fire within you and take control of your destiny. The journey starts now. Have you ever stared at yourself in the mirror and felt like the person staring back isn't really you? Like you're a stranger trapped inside your own skin? Maybe life's been dragging you through endless days that all feel the same, numb, stuck, disconnected from the person you know you could be. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Here's the truth that most don't want to admit. Feeling lost, detached, or even defeated is part of the human experience. But what's incredible, and what Stoic philosophy reminds us, is that the fire inside you, that raw potential, never truly dies. It's not gone, It's waiting. Waiting for the moment, the spark, the decision that says, I'm done being stuck. I'm ready to fight back. Too often, we let comfort become a cage. We avoid hardship like it's the enemy, when in reality, fearing. Pain is what chains us to weakness. The world doesn't promise an easy road. If we seek only comfort, we lose our edge, and more importantly, we lose ourselves. Stoicism offers a powerful way out of this trap. It teaches us that pain, rejection, and loss, these aren't signs that we've failed. Instead, they're the building blocks of strength. Every hard moment is an opportunity to grow resilience. Every rejection is a lesson in self-worth. Every loss, if we let it, can become wisdom. Think about it. Some of the most admired people in history weren't handed their success on a silver platter. They endured setbacks that could have crushed them, but instead, they chose to transform their suffering into power. They bent life's challenges to their will instead of breaking under them. So ask yourself, what would it look like to stop running from discomfort? To face your struggles head-on and turn them into fuel for your future? Imagine trading fear for courage, pain for growth, and despair for purpose. This isn't just motivational talk. It's a call to action. Because inside you right now, no matter how small it feels, that fire still flickers. It waits for you to breathe life back into it. You don't have to stay stuck in the past or paralyzed by fear. You can choose to rise, and the moment you decide to stop seeking comfort and start embracing challenge, that's where real transformation begins. Opening shot. A person standing on a cliff at sunrise looking out over a vast open landscape. Soft, inspiring music plays. Have you ever found yourself carrying the weight of the past on your shoulders? Maybe it's the mistakes you made, the regrets you can't shake, or the relationships that fell apart. We all know what it feels like to hold on to the past, to let those experiences define us, and to feel like we're stuck under the burden of things we can't change. But here's the truth. You don't have to keep carrying that weight. Let me repeat that. You don't have to let the past control your future. Yes, the mistakes you've made, the failures you've faced, they're part of your story, but they do not have to be the defining chapter. We tend to think that our past defines who we are, but that's a lie. The real truth is that your past is simply a collection of lessons. Every failure, every setback, every painful moment you've experienced, they didn't break you, they shaped you. They gave you wisdom, resilience, and perspective. That's the power of failure. It teaches you what to do differently next time, and it teaches you the strength to move forward. But here's the catch. You can't keep living in those lessons. At some point, you have to let go. You have to stop carrying the weight of everything you've been through, because that weight isn't helping you anymore. In fact, it's holding you back. The people who doubted you, the ones who betrayed your trust, the ones who left you when you needed them most. Why are you still holding space for them in your life? Why are you still giving them power over your time, your energy, and your future? Let them go. They served their purpose. They showed you who they were, and now it's time to move on. Their story with you is over, and it's time for you to write your next chapter. Think about it. How often do we keep replaying old conversations in our heads, rehashing the past over and over, wondering if we could have done something differently? The truth is, the past doesn't exist anymore. All that remains is what you do with the present. And if you keep letting yesterday control today, you'll never have the chance to fully live. So here's the question. What would it look like to let go? What would it feel like to release all of those old stories, regrets, and disappointments, and free up that energy for something better? Can you imagine how much lighter you would feel, how much more powerful and focused you'd become? When you let go of your old self, the version of you that made mistakes, the one who was hurt, the one who didn't know better, you make room for the person you are becoming. You ignite a new kind of power, one that comes from choosing to leave the past behind and step boldly into the future. This isn't just a theory, it's the foundation for real change. You see, cutting ties with your old self doesn't just free you from the past, it unleashes your potential. The energy you used to spend carrying regret and anger can now be directed towards your future. You can build something better, stronger, and more meaningful with the energy you've reclaimed. So here's my challenge to you. Start today. Look at the past as what it is, lessons learned, and choose to release it. Don't let it control you any longer. The only thing that matters now is what you do next. The only thing that matters is what you decide to create with this moment. Let go of what's holding you back and give. Starting over. It sounds like defeat, doesn't it? It feels like going back to square one, like you've failed, like you're somehow weaker for having to rebuild. But here's the truth. Starting over isn't weakness. It's raw power. It's the spark of revolution, the first step toward building something even stronger than what came before. You see, true strength is forged in destruction and rebuilding. When everything you've known crumbles, when the old path is wiped out, that's when you find your real power. Because in those moments of ruin, you're not finished. You're starting. You're remaking yourself. And what's stronger than someone who has risen from the ashes of their own collapse? The world is merciless. It doesn't care about your dreams or your plans. It will tear you down without warning, with no regard for the work you've put in, or the pain you've endured. But here's the important part. How you respond is what defines you. When everything falls apart, you have two choices. You can stay down and let it break you, or you can rise up, stronger, more determined, and ready to rebuild from the ground up. Failures are not the end. They are the beginning. Every setback, every mistake, every moment you feel like giving up, those are the building blocks of your success. It's in these moments of struggle that your true self is forged. You think, you can't go on, that's the point, push through it. Because when you do, that's when you become unstoppable. Think about some of the most legendary figures in history. They didn't rise to greatness by avoiding failure. No, they were broken, tested, torn apart, and yet they rebuilt. They embraced their struggles, turned pain into purpose, and emerged stronger than ever. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, but he didn't see failure as an end. He saw it as an opportunity to learn, to adapt, to rebuild. What if he had quit after the first setback, or the 100th? The world would be a very different place. You're no different. When you face those dark moments when it feels like the world is against you, that's when you have the chance to build something remarkable. Pain, doubt, and struggle are not your enemies. They are your allies in growth. You need them. They shape you. They show you who you really are, and they prepare you for the success that's waiting on the other side. So, when life knocks you down, don't just survive, rebuild. Use every setback, every failure as a foundation for your rise. The destruction of your old self is not your defeat, it's your rebirth. Embrace it. Because this moment, this struggle, this restarting, this is where your greatest strength lies. And when you rise from this, when you rebuild from this, nothing will be able to stop you. How many times have you found yourself scrolling endlessly through social media, jumping from one distraction to the next, only to realize hours have passed and you've accomplished nothing? It's easy to get lost in the noise. We all do it. But here's the harsh truth. We waste years of our lives, not because of failure, but because we're too distracted. Think about it. How often have you set out to do something important, only to get sidetracked by notifications, conversations, or a random thought that pulls you away from your mission? Time slips through our fingers and we don't even realize it. But success, real success, doesn't come from multitasking or dabbling in a million different things. Success requires obsessive, laser-focused dedication to one single mission. It's not about being good at everything. It's about being great at one thing. And to do that, you need to eliminate distractions. Imagine for a second, if you woke up every day and gave all your focus to one goal, one mission, how much could you accomplish? How much closer would you be to the life you want? Freedom isn't about having endless options. Freedom is about the power to choose where you put your focus and to ignore all the noise that doesn't serve you. Every distraction is a choice. Every time you let something pull your attention away from your mission, you're choosing to surrender your time, your energy, and your future. Think about how often we let the world dictate where our attention goes. Advertisements, emails, phone calls, everything pulling you in different directions. It's overwhelming. But here's where the Stoic philosophy can teach us something valuable. The key to real strength lies in burning away hesitation and uncertainty. The more you allow distractions to linger in your life, the more uncertain and unfocused you become. To truly focus, you have to clear the clutter. Not just on your desk, but in your mind. What is truly important to you? What is your mission? Ask yourself, what do I need to eliminate to get closer to my goal? It might be a relationship that drains you. It might be bad habits. It could be unnecessary commitments that take up your time but don't move you forward. Whatever it is, you have to let it go. This is where real strength is born. In the moment you choose to prioritize your mission above all else. No more hesitation. No more wasting time on things that won't help you grow. Every moment you spend doubting yourself, every second you waste on something that doesn't matter, is a second you'll never get back. It's about clarity. It's about choosing what matters most and being willing to sacrifice everything else to make it happen. The Stoics understood this principle deeply. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, often reminded himself to focus on what he could control and ignore the distractions that pulled him away from his purpose. You want real change? It starts with focus. It starts with saying no to everything that doesn't serve you. No to everything that doesn't move you forward. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it takes discipline. But this is how you achieve greatness. So, the next time you feel distracted, ask yourself, does this serve my mission? If the answer is no, let it go. Your future is in your hands and it's time to take control. The distractions, the noise, the doubt, they don't deserve your time. You do. Now ask yourself, what will you focus on today? We all have something that is precious to us, something we guard with care. For some it's their time, for others it's their reputation, or perhaps their loved ones. But today I want to talk about something even more valuable. Your energy. Energy is sacred. It's the most powerful resource you have. Every thought, every action, every conversation drains or fuels you, and yet, so many of us treat our energy like it's an endless resource, handing it out, giving it away, without realizing how much we're losing. But here's the truth. Not everyone deserves your time, your attention, or your energy. Have you ever felt drained after spending time with someone? Maybe it's someone who constantly complains, someone who only talks about their problems, someone who never listens but always takes. These people, they drain you. They take and never give back. And here's the kicker. You let them. Think about it. How many times have you felt exhausted by a conversation, only to realize that person hasn't added anything of value to your life? They've just taken from your energy, left you feeling empty, and yet they don't even notice. So here's a question for you. Why are you still giving them your energy? It's time to cut ties, without apology. It's time to stop allowing people who drain you to take from you. You have the power to decide where your energy goes, and it's about time you started choosing carefully. Because, let me tell you, when you protect your energy, you unlock a power within you that is unstoppable. The Stoics understood this. They knew that your inner peace and focus were fragile, and they didn't waste their time or energy on distractions or negativity. They believed in investing their energy only in what mattered, what served their purpose, and nothing less. When you protect your energy, you become a force. You become someone who can take on challenges without being overwhelmed. You build resilience, clarity, and the focus to push through anything that comes your way. It's not just about saving energy for yourself. It's about directing that power toward what truly matters. But here's something even more powerful. Those who respect your energy will rise to meet it. The right people, the ones who understand the value of your time and your focus, will meet you at your level. They'll bring their best, just as you bring yours. But for those who don't respect your energy, for those who drain you, they'll fall behind. And when they do, let them go. You don't need to carry the weight of others' negativity. Let them fall behind if they can't keep up. It's not your job to carry them. Your energy is too valuable. Guard it like the treasure it is. Protect it fiercely. And when you do, you'll realize something incredible. You'll start reclaiming the energy you've been giving away. You're meant for greatness, but you can't get there by letting others suck the life out of you. Reclaim your power. Be mindful of where your energy goes, and invest it only in the things and people that elevate you. When you do this, you'll find that you're not only stronger, but more at peace, more focused, and more unstoppable than ever before. Today on the show, we're diving into the world of economic indicators. These are the numbers that tell us how the economy is doing. Things like GDP, unemployment rates, and consumer confidence. But what do these indicators really mean? How are they calculated? And how should we interpret them? We'll break it all down for you with the help of some experts. We've all been there, haven't we? You wake up determined to crush the day. You're feeling motivated, full of energy, ready to take on the world. But by the end of the day, that motivation has faded, and you're left wondering, why didn't I follow through? Motivation is a powerful thing, but here's the catch. It's fleeting. It doesn't last. Some days you have it, and other days you don't. And waiting for motivation to show up, that's a trap. If you're relying on motivation alone, you're setting yourself up for failure. True success doesn't wait for the right feelings or the perfect moment. It doesn't wait for you to feel like taking action. It doesn't wait for you to feel inspired or motivated. If it did, most of us would never get anything done. The truth is, success is built on discipline, not on the waves of motivation. Discipline is the ability to show up day in and day out, even when you don't feel like it. Even when the pain is there, the doubts creep in, and the fear tries to hold you back. Discipline is about taking action despite all of that. It's about doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. And here's the secret. It's the discipline that shapes you, not the fleeting feelings of motivation. Motivation is like a spark that ignites you, but discipline is the fire that keeps you going. It doesn't flicker out when the wind blows. It keeps burning. Obstacles? They're not there to break you. They're there to forge you. Every challenge you face, every moment you feel like quitting, that's the moment you grow. The Stoics understood this deeply. They didn't see struggle as something to avoid. They saw it as a tool for growth. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, believed that the impediment to action advances action. In other words, the very obstacles that seem to block your path are often the things that push you forward. When life gets tough, when you feel like quitting, it's not a signal to give up. It's a signal to keep pushing, to embrace the struggle, and to use it as fuel for your growth. Think about it. When you face a challenge, you have two choices. You can back down, let the discomfort win, and let the moment defeat you. Or you can embrace it, knowing that every setback is just another step on the road to becoming who you're meant to be. It's the daily discipline of pushing through that shapes you into an unshakable, relentless version of yourself. This is where the real magic happens. Daily discipline. It's not the big wins that matter most. It's the small, consistent actions that build over time. Whether it's getting up early, sticking to your workout routine, reading a few pages of a book every day, or taking time to plan your next step, these small acts of discipline compound. And before you know it, you've built a life of strength, resilience, and success. You see, your discipline creates momentum. And once you have momentum, there's no stopping you. It's not about waiting for the right moment or the perfect feeling. It's about showing up, every day, no matter what. So ask yourself, where do you need more discipline in your life? Where are you waiting for motivation to strike instead of simply taking action? The real question is not whether you feel like it. The question is, will you show up, even when it's hard? When you make that commitment to discipline, you stop waiting for life to give you permission to succeed. You start taking control of your future, no matter what challenges lie ahead. That's when the magic happens. This is a decisive moment. Right now you stand at a crossroads. You can either keep holding on to your old self, the version of you that clung to comfort, that made excuses, that stayed small, or you can choose to let go. You can choose to burn away what has kept you trapped in regret and rise into the person you're meant to become. Think about it. How many times have you let fear, doubt, or excuses hold you back from becoming who you know you can be? How many opportunities have you missed? How many dreams have you let fade? All because you were too afraid to let go of the past. The truth is, the only thing standing between you and your greatest potential is the decision to commit. Now is the time to annihilate those excuses. No more waiting for the right moment. No more telling yourself that you're not ready. Because let's face it, you'll never feel fully ready. The truth is, readiness comes from action. It comes from stepping into the unknown, from deciding that you will not let your past, your fears, or your doubts dictate your future. It's time to rebuild a relentless life. A life where excuses don't have a place. A life where you act no matter how tough it gets. It's about building strength, mental, emotional, and physical, to keep going even when you feel like quitting. Every day you have a choice, to stay where you are or to push yourself to that next level. And believe me, it's not going to be easy. There will be moments when you want to turn back. There will be moments of doubt. But real strength, the kind that will carry you through any storm, comes from the ability to focus fully, to ignore distractions, and to keep moving forward no matter what. You need to stop looking for reasons to delay, for reasons to wait. Your legacy depends on your choice to rise now. The longer you wait, the more time you waste, and the more you hold yourself back from the future you deserve. The world doesn't owe you anything, but you owe it to yourself to give everything you've got, to push through every challenge, and to leave behind a legacy of relentless pursuit, not one of regret. This is your moment, a moment to step into the life you've always dreamed of, to become the person you were always meant to be. Burn away the doubts, burn away the excuses. Rise now.